Hello everyone, my name is Joe Deep and you are tuned into the Stories Behind podcast. Here we sit down with your favorite Christian artist to discuss the stories behind the songs you love. Welcome once again, let's dive in. Great. And today I'm here with my personal brother, vocal dexterous extraordinaire, one and only Grammy nominated, competition runner-up, first runner-up winner, PD Wallson of 121 Selah.
Yo, guys. Thank you so much.
A lot of people know 121 Selah and just the things that God has done, with you guys, in excellence, in message delivery, in making other songs excellent, but today we get to meet the lead servant, as he loves to call himself, PD Wallson, the lead servant.
It's amazing how a term you coin together to put you in a place becomes the actual term that they use to define you and actually make you Lord. I don't even say
you picked the term to come
like
under.
Buffet yourself,
my friend,
lead servant, lead servant.
Technically,
they put their hands
that's
together.
kingdom mindset, because the one who serves is the one that God uses.
I'm supposed to be humble, still my lead servant.
Humble.
My lead servant. So no, that's not how it's supposed to sound.
Beautifully, today we're going to be getting into the stories behind a song that just came out and is now blowing many people's mind. My Lover, and you had Pecky, feature
Martins
on that. But because I know at least that you're, the major brain songwriter behind that, I want you to just take us into the journey behind that song. Just journey us from, how did the song come, like inspiration-wise? How did you receive it? How did you shape it out?
Sure.
What words did you put in there intentionally
Sure.
to create an experience for the people that listen?
Sure. It was a very beautiful day. It was a Sunday evening, I remember.
Storytelling was a very
Femi
beautiful day.
Okunuga had a concert. Shout out to you, sir Femi Okunuga. He had a concert, and Pastor Nathan Obasi was to minister. And so he did come up at the end. Then after singing, I think a song that Femi Okunuga featured him on, then he decided to share a song that he wrote titled Kiss Me Again.
I love it.
And the first thing that came to my mind was Pastor Nath, Kiss Me Again, this is good. I like it. And he was quoting from Songs of Solomon, kiss me, kiss me, for your love is better than wine, your love is sweeter than life. Or is it better than life, sweeter than wine? I don't know. But then just sang the song, and he said the Lord showed him a picture of what it takes for two people to come together to kiss each other, that there has to be you
need the Lord to show you that picture.
No, that's the person
Sorry,
said.
I'm joking.
But definitely, he said it has to be proximity, right?
Yeah.
And so I literally began to see myself if this guy truly loves me this much, first of all, he wants to be this close to me. And in my mind, why am I running away?
Yeah.
And that's the first thing that came to my mind. So in that moment, I felt the love of God so strong, and it was like I got pulled by someone who was willing to share that intimate moment with me, So, and I got home singing melodies. In fact, the melody I was singing wasn't the actual song.
Yeah.
It was there's a reprise. The reprise goes, hey, hey. I was just chanting those words, that melody rather, and I came to rehearsal because we always have rehearsals here Mondays and Fridays, and I said, guys, I have a melody. I just want you guys to fill it up with words. So I said, I'll just say, hey, hey, and you just put in whatever you need to put in, but then make it quite intimate. Like let it be something that talks to God as your lover, your darling. So we started with that, and everybody had their notes full of spontaneous words.
Shout out to the whole 121 Selah clan.
So they kept writing, and after that moment, I went back home and said, okay, I'm going to develop this. I want to pour out my heart to God. I want to let God know that, listen, not only have I heard about His love, but I know why He has actually given me that much love. And so I began to talk about myself as the subject of love now. So now I see the reason why you love me, God, and you are the subject.
I'm just gonna hold you back a little. One of the things I really like, is when I listen to a song and it feels like what the person is saying. That song carries intimacy.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I love how you said something about, you know, when you had heard like when the picture came to you of the you know, the proximity and the question, why am I running away? And I just want to ask, because I know this happens for some songwriters. Sometimes you could write because of people, and sometimes you could write for yourself in a certain moment, and that applies to people. Do you feel like in that time that there was a space of your work with God where it just felt like you were running away?
Oh yes. In fact, it was so it was that moment that if I found myself laying prostrate right in front of the stage.
Yeah.
Like I literally poured out myself. I felt the love of God so strong, and it was that drawing love. Dude, where have you been? And I don't know what it was. Yeah, I think I might remember. I was struggling to pay rent. I remember because
as you're, you know, it's what happens when you become a parent. Wink, wink.
I think so. Like it was just a lot of stress on me trying to work 4 or 5 jobs, you know, to be able to pay rent and at least get my basic needs met.
Yeah, and so the pool of all that care just like, pulled you kind of away.
I almost forgot that I had not been spending time with the Father, you know, as much as I should. And that moment was like, more. I can literally see how far gone I was. And so, but then the loving God who is always there, you know, like God is a lover.
Yeah.
Like if you really want to understand the idea of love, you need to look at God, and that's just encouragement for whoever is trying to write about the concept of the most supreme ethic, love, right? You see, God is a lover, and you just want to learn from Him. He's consistently going to always show you that, listen, I'm not going to go away, all right, even if you do. And so I got pulled back, and I began to write. So Lover is actually my experience. It's my song. It's what God birthed in me, you know, that, you know, after bringing me back.
So
in,
I mean, take us in. You come back, you know, from your humming melodies. You come back, you know, to the one-to-one Selah team. You're humming this, you know, tune, and then they're responding to you. But you've given them the context. You want it to be particularly, you know, in reflection to God as a lover. What happened? And
so I tried to find clips, maybe give it to you and all that. So it was just beautiful. So Midele was there, Ike was there,
shout out
to you guys. You know, Remy was there, Prox was there, and it was just all mushy, you know, my darling, hey, oh, my sweetheart, you mean the world to me, you satisfy me, you fill my empty. Everybody was just literally pouring things out. But then after that moment, I sat down at my desk and I wanted to write. And I wanted to make sure that whatever I wrote was going to actually carry not the joy of being the receiver of love, but the joy of being the subject of that same love, having understood that the reason why God poured His love into your heart is so that you can also be the subject of love to other people.
Wow.
At least to Him first, as the 2 commandments states, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, then love your neighbor as yourself. So I wanted it to really cast the spotlight on the subject of love in this context. And so titling the song, it was Semidele, we had many names to call the song. It was either More Than Anything, because that line kept repeating itself, more than anything. So I was like, More Than Anything sounds like Lama Campbell's I lift my hands and told the what that song?
Restoration unto you, you reign upon the throne,
for you are God. I love you, Jesus, I worship and adore you. Lord,
more than anything.
So like there's already that one. So Semidele was like, pity lover. Like, yes, that's the actual idea. Because in this context, God is a lover, I am a lover, do you get? And so let's just talk about this love relationship, and knowing full well that the love that makes God the subject of that love that I'm talking about is the same love, right? So like we have that common ground, that common ethic.
Yeah.
Do you get? So the love I'm sharing with you is not different from the love God shared with me.
Yes.
So I just thought to put it all in that moment, and I am so blessed, especially with this line when I said, because I'm aware that I was saved to love you.
That I am
saved to, like, that just runs a very sharp, you know, spear through my heart, you know. And I'm a guy who always tries to write big, but that line,
a few people think I'm deep.
my
you need
song,
to see how many feet PD's well is. Is it a D in PD? P deep Wallson. Just he pitied me.
But then I'm so grateful that God was able to help me capture
Simplify.
that much that I want to say into just one line that just states the end to which we have been saved, to love God and to have expressions of that love. Then the most important part, seeing that we couldn't do that in and of ourselves because of the fall, with all that I am now, that line that says loving you is possible for me, just merges the full story of the gospel, being the means and the end to
you know what
God
for
glory.
those that haven't heard like the beats of the words together, because now you're breaking up some of the words, and some people might not have heard this is not yet I mean at this point it might have been as popular as a song like Shoemaker or some of your spins on other songs. I want you to just just sing out the words of the from Oh How You Love.
Okay, so it says, oh, how you love.
Let's go.
It's a puzzle or a riddle. Like, I don't understand it. Teach me to love. Only you understand
So
you.
powerful.
'Cause I'm aware that I was saved to love you. With all that I am now, loving you is possible for me. And goes, my lover, how I love you. My darling, you're enough for me. I love you more than anything. More than my life, I love you. More than this world, I want you. I love you more than anything.
See.
I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed.
I'm rubbing goosebumps back into my skin.
I'm so blessed.
I know the first time I heard the song, once it got to,
If I get the first person I shared it with.
don't tell them. I don't want people to know I'm this privileged, bro.
I remember that day I wrote the song and I said, Joe, I just wrote a song.
See,
Listen.
I remember just going, this is it, because I mean, it's still deep, like in the metaphorical, like use of oh how you love a puzzle, but clear. A riddle. I'm trying to get it, and when it gets to like teach me to love, and then you give the reason why that word is being said to only you understand you, and it's always best to learn from a person who understands the thing the most. And so it's like most people want to love. That's what hit me first, because I'm like, a lot of us want to really love God, but we're trying to be apart from intimacy with God to learn intimacy with God, and to remember that call.
That's a song story.
You know,
that's the real song
to
story.
remember that call to come to intimacy with God, to learn intimacy with God, because He's not trying to check if we're experts first before He lets us, receive love from us. And I hope that's how a lot of husbands and wives would treat themselves, by the way, that you would not need to go and try and amass experience
Right.
elsewhere first,
Right. Like,
exactly
right there on the
I mean,
drum.
that once I read that line, I feel like that was one of the clearest things that opened up for me. Like, instantly I'm like, Joe, I'm like Joe, I know you want to love me. It's like almost like God telling me, Joe, I know you want to love me so much with everything, but I don't need you to perform.
Wow.
The closer you come, the more you are open to me teaching you how to
it's
love
done.
me.
Yes, sir.
Everything is going to change.
Yes, sir. That's the truth.
And it's like we're going to get better together in this. So I personally want to thank you for writing that song. Once it hit me on the, 'cause I'm aware I was saved to love you with all that I am. Now loving you is possible.
I was screaming right here when I wrote the song. I was screaming.
See, everybody has to get. Don't just. The music is beautiful, very beautiful, and we'll jump into that just in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But I want you to hear every word.
Yes, please.
They're crafted for your intimacy with the Lord, especially those of you who just wrestle with these things, and it's like you're on a treadmill and you're just running, but you're not going anywhere, right? But you're getting tired. Your calves are getting stronger, but you've not moved anywhere. You're trained to move somewhere, but you've not gone anywhere, right? And so I want you to just, if there's any other particular lyric you want to dive into and just let people know where it came from, you can let us, know it here, and then just move into. It's one thing to have the idea, and that's one thing we like to do on this podcast. We try to tackle the stories behind the idea, the story behind the production of that idea, and the story behind just after the release of that idea. So I want you to let us know first if there's any other lyric that I put this in place, I wanted this to happen, and then I want you to just journey us into what creating the sound was like, people that you want to credit that worked with you on it to bring it to life, and just take us there.
No problem. So if there's any line that I would like to give an expose to, is the one that says, "More than my life, I love you." So I realize that many times there are too many documents of love, too many songs about it, too many metaphors, too many applications. Everybody says, "This is how I want you to love me. This is how it should be done. If you love somebody, this is what you do." But God wasn't just telling you that for God to love the world that he gave his son to make you just feel good that somebody could give his son to you. He was giving you a prototype as to how love is supposed to be seen. Like, if you love me, this is what you do, and I'm going to show you first how it is done. I laid my life down for you. And so love is selfless. All right, it takes you away from yourself and launches you into an ambition for another. And so that's what I just wanted to make clear, that listen, this love I'm talking about is something that will take you out of the way. Like, it kills you. And that's how it is. That's the purity of it.
The only kind of death I want to die.
That's the only kind of death I want to die. And so God is saying, if you want to love me, listen, I laid down my life for you. You're going to do the same for me. All right, and not only for me, for the brethren, for people around you. And so that's the kind of love we're trying to learn from God. It's not just surface love, it's death love. It is your willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice. And it looks somehow, even in our culture, but that's just what it is. It doesn't change. In fact, that's the love that brought us thus far. It was the death on the cross, all right? And so I know that you have needs, you have ambitions, but trust me, like, your greatest security is in the fact that you are living for another. And that's what I would love you to learn from this song, and pray to God, spend time with him to learn, like, teach me how to live for other people. Teach me how to lay down my life for people, for my country. It might sound funny, but just teach me how to do things beyond myself.
Do what is necessary for its betterment.
For the betterment of other people, So that's what I just want you to hold on to.
Like, you might be getting benefits from a certain government that is not good for the country, but because of love, you will do what's necessary.
This is what it is
for the country. Receive wisdom.
So that's what "more than my life, I love you" means. That's the way it should be.
How beautiful.
And then, so going into the creative process, I remember it was
this man right here is brilliant.
Joe.
Brilliant. But let's go on.
Okay, I'm shy. Okay, so I'm always the guy who overthinks production. Some people don't know that, but Joe knows, because I just want to make it perfect for the listener and for myself. Okay, for myself, then the listener, because I'm just that.
You want to create something you can listen to without squeezing your face.
But then I was torn in between that and creating an experience for people. I wanted people to be able to sing it, whether they were musical or not. Like so I was torn in that dilemma, and I was like, okay, what do we do? Okay, let's create an experience. Like, let's have people come around. So the set design was a project, actually. So I started the song in a big project titled
Crossfire Project. If you are not jumping on the Crossfire Project, and see, when you're following one-to-one Selah, PD Wallson, Mo Wallson, wink. Just look at, once you see Crossfire, just fire. It's always an experience.
So it's a project that we put together to help people's desires for God. That's it. So we titled it Crossfires, Burning Desires Fueled by the Cross. And
Beautiful. So burning desires fueled by the cross. Crossfires.
Crossfires. So we just thought, okay, fine, let's just gather people together, right? Whether you're a singer, whether you're creative, whether you're just a random citizen of Nigeria or Christian, you can sing, you can't sing. Let's just do something. And I told my producers, I said, listen, I want to trust you guys here. I want to step out of the way, because I know that my perfectionist self, might want to, poison or color the real intent I have, So Jeffrey Sage, shout out to you, guy. I love you, man. Said, PD, say no more. You want that? I'm going to do that for you. So he created the music. My bass player came in. We are all together in the same room and said, okay, let's play this here. Let's go from my lover, how I love you, from the 1. Let's go to the 2, because there's something that happens when you rise from the 1 to the 2. It creates a journey.
Yes.
And that. So when we're done with the music at rehearsals, I was like, yes, this is it. And so we recorded live at the Dome TPH. Shout out to Pastor Jude for making that happen. Thank you so much, sir, for pulling your weight behind the project, and then Oluwa the best
is literally the best.
Literally the best. I don't want to go into the full story, but sir, you are amazing. Thank you. And so he shot it, and post-production, overdubs, Jeffrey, my bass player, my guitarist, Dan, my guitarist, Drop D. Drop D's everywhere.
Drop D's Drop D's making projects beautiful. My drummer, Josh, my team, my singers, and the guy who put all the stems together and mixed and mastered, Praximus. Shout out to you, Praximus. And so that's how we're able to come about this song. Prax is mixing the whole project.
The whole project. Praximus is mixing the whole project. I've been in pain in his neck, but he'll forgive me after this.
You are a pain in anybody's neck. For the glory of God.
For the glory of God. And so that's how the project came together, and it's just a blessing.
See, my favorite, because I'm a guitar head.
Yes.
Right. So my favorite part of the music.
I know what you're about to say.
See, when you put the music, up, and I was listening to it.
Yeah.
I just heard this. I say, my people have come out.
I love that melody so much. It was Jeffrey that cooked it up. I was like, this is weird. This is odd. And funny thing is, he didn't only play the harmony he played was a fourth, like it was a quarter harmony. And that is weird now.
This one is 14 with my systems.
And I was like, Jeff, this is just genius. I like it. Let's go.
So, so here's the thing, and here's what I love, especially about you and what you do with 121 Selah.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of musicians, and this is no who is better than who.
Yes, sir.
Who make music just intuitively. Mm-hmm. But music can be learned, and you can replicate certain things again and again.
Yes,
and you and 121 Selah, I when I'm trying to produce, I can be looking for the chord. You guys know the chord that will give the feeling, or the options of chords, that will give the feeling. So you hear him saying, "Oh, he played the harmony, he played fourth." We will do it by mistake. We'll be like, quick track that thing before you forget that. Because if I come back to the keyboard in 2 weeks, I'm like, which key did I touch again?
No. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to know music.
Yes.
As a Christian,
No, you're inspiring me to know music.
It's beautiful. Like, you realize that God is God of creation, right? And He's put these things in place, for our use. And so when you see people in the world who try to, let me use the term, appeal to the back end. Like, this is where your logic comes from. It's like from the front. Okay, I tell you, do this, you do it. But then Andrew Fletcher says, give me the songs of a nation, and I don't care who writes its laws, So I'm saying you're there and you're just listening to music, and it's affecting your behavior.
Yes.
And it's a particular chord, it's a particular sound.
Those things can be learned.
Those things can be learned.
And used for the right
reason. So it's a beautiful experience for me to be on that journey, to learn music and write great gospel songs and great, God-centered songs, to and capture and just capture that sound, to influence people rightly.
I want to keep you for longer, and I just love hearing. Personally, I love hearing you speak, and people who know our relationship know we can speak into the night for hours.
Yes, sir.
And just before we let you go on this song, I want you to tell if there's any unique story, maybe from even when you shared this song with the people in the team.
Yeah.
Or the day it was shared at Crossfire, or once it was released.
Yeah.
Just what have the stories been? What do you expect, to happen to people, and what has the stories been? One or two stories, that have been out there.
Trust me, if there's anything that causes depression, despair, fear, anxiety, agitation in many of us young people in court, is some things just seem bogus to us, seem impossible, like struggles, temptations, or more, and it's getting worse by the day. So how are we going to struggle through these things? I'm so passionate about telling people that, listen, holiness is possible.
Bruh, loving God is possible for us.
Possibility is out there. And so it gets. So I get so burdened, it's like fire shut up in my bones when I tell people I'm still struggling. I still have my times of struggling and all of that. But then I can see where the waters are. I can see where the rivers are. I can see where the possibility is. And so, guys, come see this thing. Mm-hmm. And so for me, if you're listening to this song, I just want to let you know that, listen, that thing that you're trusting God for is possible.
Yeah.
And while we could talk about our needs, wealth, peace, and all that, stability, financial stability, and economic, whatever, I'm saying that, listen, the most important thing God is actually gone in for is your life. You. Intimacy with you, and how that would translate into, your life, your character, your morality, and saying, I'm just trying to encourage you that, listen, it is possible. So when you listen to the song, let it fuel strength, faith. Be strong in the fact that God has made it possible for you, and just rest in that. In that truth.
So from those who experienced the song so far, what are some of the, maybe a maximum of two, just testimonies of what the feedback has been like?
Just exactly, the feedback is just my prayer for the rest of the people. People come to me saying, PD, this song has helped me pray. This song has helped me, speak to God, even after I just committed a sin, in that sense. Because many times we get pushed away because of that. But then I'm reminded that God loves me, and this is the only way I can actually get to love Him, by staying with Him. Yeah. So even though this thing is supposed to take me away from Him,
it usually does.
The song is helping me get back to God, and that for me is all. I know I want streams, I want numbers, but 1-2 people telling me this matters to God.
I don't even know how to close this because what I can just say at this point is, because I know how much of a blessing this song is, how much of a blessing you and 1-to-1 Selah are. Everyone, if you haven't heard My Lover, what made you pick Pecky to that song?
Yeah, Pecky. See, the moment I heard how the melody sounded in my ear, I recorded it, sent to you. As I replayed it back,
it was her voice.
Now the song is. It was designed to be Pecky. It was ordained to be Pecky. Pecky's voice.
Big shout out to Pecky. She carried the song.
Smashed. Pecky.
And just say this sweeter than wine. Hey.
Pecky, God bless you,
bro.
Pecky has such an amazing gift.
Yeah.
And. She's underrated as well, but this year we will overrate it. We will let the world know the gift that is Pecky Martin.
Yes. But everyone who hasn't listened to, and who has listened to it, and yearns for that depth of intimacy, this is that time where you grab this song,
yes, sir,
and just drink till you're full,
yes, sir,
until you're overflowing. Thank you so much again. Thank you for your service to the Lord, to the body of Christ, to the world that the Lord loves.
Sure.
There's a lot you're doing. We can't talk about it here now. But we look forward to having you back again talk about amazing songs like, Shoemaker. I can't. We're gonna do that one really soon. And I trust God really soon. I can't wait for us to do it.
Yes,
but
sir.
thank you so much. And thank you all for listening. Peace. All right, go stream My Lover and attend every crossfire that you can, because it's good for your soul.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Long, small.
Yes, and I wanted to stay. I was like, the questions I have